Chapter 1. The First Encounter. The earliest known account dates back to 1973. A truck driver named Robert Haynes was traveling through a deserted section of Highway 66 shortly after midnight. The road was empty. The nearest town was over 30 miles away. As Robert rounded a bend, his headlights illuminated something standing in the center of the road. A man. Robert slammed on the brakes. The stranger wore a dark suit that looked decades out of date. His skin appeared pale, almost gray. But it wasn't his appearance that terrified Robert. It was the smile. Witnesses later described it as unnatural. The corners of the man's mouth stretched almost to his ears. His eyes remained completely emotionless. As Robert stared, the stranger slowly raised one hand. Not in greeting, not in warning, but in a strange, jerking motion. Almost like a puppet. Robert drove around him and sped away. When he looked into his mirror, the man was gone. Chapter 2. A pattern emerges. At first, authorities dismissed the encounter as exhaustion. But over the following years, similar reports began appearing. Different drivers, different vehicles, different weather conditions. Yet every witness described the same details. A lone man, a dark suit, and a smile that seemed impossibly wide. One woman claimed she saw him dancing in the headlights. Not normal dancing. His movements were described as erratic and unnatural. His limbs twisted at odd angles. His body jerked in ways that appeared physically impossible. Another witness reported seeing him standing motionless beside the road. As their vehicle approached, his head slowly turned toward them, before his smile widened. Several witnesses claimed electronic devices malfunctioned during encounters. Car radios filled with static. GPS systems froze. Cell phones suddenly lost signal. Whether these details were genuine or simply fear-induced distortions remains unknown, but the similarities between reports are difficult to ignore. Chapter 3. The Disappearing Hitchhiker. Perhaps the most famous account occurred in 1998. A college student named Sarah Mitchell was driving home after visiting friends. A storm had blanketed the highway. Visibility was poor. As rain pounded against the windshield, Sarah spotted a man standing near the shoulder of the road. He appeared soaked, motionless, and smiling. Despite feeling uneasy, Sarah stopped. She later said the man never asked for a ride, never spoke. He simply opened the passenger door and climbed inside. The smell, according to Sarah, was unforgettable, like damp earth and something rotten. For several minutes, silence filled the car. Then Sarah noticed something disturbing. The man hadn't blinked once, not a single time. Trying to stay calm, she asked where he was headed. The man slowly turned his head. His grin widened, and he whispered, "You've already passed it." Sarah glanced at the road for only a moment. When she looked back, the passenger seat was empty. The door remained locked. The seatbelt was still fastened, and there was no sign anyone had ever been there. Chapter 4. Urban legend or something else. So who or what is the smiling man? Skeptics argue that the story is simply an urban legend, a modern campfire tale fueled by internet forums and roadside folklore. Others suggest psychological explanations: sleep deprivation, night driving hallucinations, the human brain misinterpreting shadows and movement. Yet believers offer darker theories. Some claim the smiling man is a ghost, the spirit of a traveler who died along the highway decades ago. Others believe he may be something far older, an entity that takes human form, a predator that feeds on fear. One particularly disturbing theory suggests that every witness sees the same figure because it isn't a person at all. It's something imitating a person and not doing a very good job. The smile, they argue, is evidence, a creature attempting to mimic human behavior, without understanding how humans actually smile. Chapter 5. The Final Recording. In 2014, an amateur paranormal investigator named Jason Reed attempted to document the legend. Armed with cameras and recording equipment, he spent 3 nights on the highway. Nothing happened until the 4th night. At approximately 2:17 a.m., Jason's dashboard camera captured a figure standing near the roadside. The footage is grainy, the image unclear, but many viewers believe they can make out a man wearing a dark suit, standing perfectly still. Jason reportedly exited his vehicle and approached the figure. The camera recorded only static for the next several minutes. Then one final image appeared. A close-up frame, a pale face, and a smile. The recording ended abruptly. Jason returned home the next morning, but according to friends and family, he refused to discuss what happened that night. Months later, he disappeared. No trace of him has ever been found. Authorities have never connected his disappearance to the legend. But for believers, the timing is difficult to ignore. Was the smiling man merely a myth? A collection of exaggerated stories passed from one generation to another? Or is there truly something waiting beside lonely highways after midnight? Something watching? Something smiling? Perhaps every report is nothing more than coincidence. Perhaps every witness imagined what they saw. But if you ever find yourself driving alone and notice a man standing silently by the road, with a grin that seems just a little too wide, keep driving, and whatever you do, don't smile back.